So there's a lot of AI solutions out there. It's obviously a big buzzword that exists in the world, and in particular, computer vision. So one of the trends I've noticed is that every security camera manufacturer right now is including AI.
Right.
That seems to be an approach. Why? What are the gaps there, and why is it that we've done something different?
So AI is so still new and developing, and when you build that into the hardware, especially the hardware you're going to deploy all over the place, right? Your cameras are presumably in the hundreds all over the facility. So A, you've increased the cost of each camera now, and B, you're stuck with whatever hardware existed at the time you deployed those cameras. And so let's just say tomorrow, new technique comes out, but the hardware on that camera can't scale to the new technique. Now you're stuck with last gen AI. If instead we treat the cameras as sources of light, right? Just image sources. That's not really changing as fast. That's pretty clear that we can aim a camera with the right lens at the right thing. We can get images out of it. Then we can centralize a little bit more where we do the AI into like devices on the edge or even into the cloud. And that's easier to upgrade because it's not distributed all over our facility.
Cloud seems like the obvious solution. It's the trend that everyone's gone to. So talk to me about the benefits of running, Kibsi and computer vision in the cloud. Why is that a popular approach?
Yeah, the biggest benefit of the cloud is that you have no additional hardware besides the cameras. So you put the cameras on-prem, and then you connect to the cloud, and that's it. That's the whole solution. So now for scaling the compute part, the GPU requirements, the data storage requirements, it all kind of goes away. It becomes completely a service. The downside of the cloud is if you've got hundreds of cameras, it can be relatively bandwidth intensive to stream cameras straight from the factory or the warehouse all the way to the cloud all the time.
What is the solution for the edge then? If I'm deploying at the edge, what do I lose? What do I gain?
Yeah, so the middle ground between putting it all on the camera and putting it all on the cloud is putting it on some kind of edge device, right? So Kibsi can run on edge devices that are relatively low cost appliances, and our whole software stack runs on them natively. So these things are truly just plug in the network cable, plug in the power cable, and then forget about them. You get to manage them with the cloud-based control plane, just like you do with any other part of Kibsi. But transparently, we deploy workloads onto the edge devices. So now you're streaming from the cameras to the edge device on the local network. There's not such a bandwidth constraint. And then you're then sending just the results of that prediction, results of the AI, up to the cloud to have an interactive dashboard. So you might still send snapshots or short clips of video, but then all the data, all the predicted data as well. And what that enables you to do is have the best of both worlds, where you get a kind of SaaS product, the cloud-based control plane, but you're avoiding the complexity of streaming 100 cameras at 1080p all the time to the cloud. Instead, you've got a couple of edge devices that do that locally.
Are there types of cameras that work better than others, and why would you choose one versus another?
I think broadly we see two kinds of cameras. We see kind of ceiling-mounted security cameras. This is probably the most common. This is good for these kind of look at the whole room, look at some business process that's relatively macro, the movement of people and movement measured in feet, not inches. Other processes like quality might require a really up-close, detailed view. And for that, there are kind of specialized cameras that are still commodity, they're still inexpensive, but they're kind of made for that industrial, kind of closer to the conveyor belt, closer to the part being built, a little more rugged than maybe a ceiling-mounted security camera is, with more flexible mounting options. So either one of those can work with Kibsi. And what we normally see is, again, the kind of security cameras for the process use cases, and then those more specialized cameras for the quality or detailed use cases.